How to delete an element from a list in Python. The del keyword can be used to remove an item from a certain index in a list. For example, if I were to write del of list A at index 1, that would remove 2 from the list. The methods Python has to remove elements from a list are remove, pop, and clear. The remove list method in Python removes the first occurrence of a specific element from a list. We have a list A that contains 1, 2, 2, and 3. If we do a.remove 2, the first 2 gets removed and the list now contains 1 through 3. If we were to then do a.remove 4, we would get a value error because element 4 is not in the list. To avoid this value error, you must make sure that every element you pass into remove actually exists in the list. The list pop method in Python removes an element from the list. Let's give ourselves a list A that holds the elements 1, 2, and 3. If we just call pop on A, you'll see the next line of output is 3. If you print out A, you'll see that A now only contains 1 and 2. We've learned 2 important things here. First, pop's default behavior is to remove the last item from the list. Also, though the pop method returns the item that it removes, let's back up a bit and make A our original list. If, instead of just calling pop on A, we set A equal to the output of calling pop on A, we would then completely lose our list in memory, as A would only hold the value that pop just removed. There are 2 potential errors you can trigger when working with the pop method. Let's make A an empty list. If A is an empty list and we try to call pop on it, then we will get an index error that we are trying to pop from an empty list. And the simple solution to this error is, if the list is empty, don't pop from it. The other error you can trigger is a nice segue into the other functionality of pop. You can pass an index into the pop function. Say, for example, A is the list containing 1 and 2. If we passed in the index 2 to pop, we would get an index error, pop index out of range. So you cannot pop items from a list that evidently doesn't exist. Going back to A being a list containing 1, 2, and 3, if we called pop of 0 on this list, the number 1 would get returned, and the first element would be removed from the list. So, if you pass an index that exists within the Python list, pop will remove the item at that particular index. Be warned, though, popping in any item that's not the last item can be a time-consuming operation as your lists grow larger and larger in Python. The list clear method in Python clears the list. Let's give ourselves a list A that holds the elements 1, 2, and 3. If you call clear on A, the list will now be empty. There's a potential error you can trigger with clear. Let's go back to where A contains 1 through 3. If you wrote the clear line as A equals A.clear, you would lose your list as the clear function returns none. It does not return the new list. Also, there's no special error message for trying to clear an already empty list. So do not write any code depending on that kind of functionality. Like and subscribe to learn more.